how can I make my cake move like that?
Yeah, right. So I watch these videos online, the satisfying videos.
Yes.
You know? And they're like cakes that are made, and they really look like a computer mouse or like a bicycle wheel, and they slice into them. It's like, man, I've never wanted to eat a bicycle before, but now I do. For sure want to eat a bicycle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 21, the show where you get to know your vendors in Oklahoma City. My name is Rob Jacobs. I'm the lead photographer and owner of Everything Photography OKC, and very privileged am I to have with me today Samantha Chapman of Sammy's Tasty Treats. Yes. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, do you have any idea what we're doing?
You're going to ask me questions, and I'm going to awkwardly answer them.
Cool. Well, we're both going to awkwardly stumble through this, I promise. It's just how it goes. So, if you are watching for the first time, what we're going to do here is we have a fish bowls full of 21 questions. Sammy's going to draw out a question. You're going to hand that question over to me, and I'm just going to read it to you, and then you'll answer it as openly, as honestly as possible. Okay. You're not limited to a short answer. You're not limited to a long answer. You just answer it however feels right. And basically, it's just going to be a conversation between the two of us. There's no script, except for what's on those papers.
Cool. I can do that.
Cool. Let's get started.
Okay. Me?
Yes, ma'am. And you'll hand it over here. There we go. Cool. This is actually a really good one. I'm actually excited to ask you this one. So, you shared a post of a mobile bar and stated that after opening a bakery, you'd love to make one of those. Mm-hmm. Along with that, you said you have so many ideas. What ideas that do you have that you'd like to see come to life?
Definitely the mobile bar.
Yeah, that looks really fun.
My ex-mother-in-law, which we all are like awesome friends and everything still, she's a bartender.
Okay.
And she and I just do a lot of thinking and creative ideas.
A lot of brainstorming?
Yeah, and just talking and everything like that. And just something that her newly as a mom and I can still do, staying home with the kiddos.
Yep.
Yep.
That's really cool. And you can even take them with you into this mobile bar thing. Do you have any other ideas that you guys kind of pitch around to each other that's kind of reoccurring?
We have thought about doing...
And if you don't want to say something specifically because no, it gets stolen, that's fine. Okay.
Just a mobile bakery and stuff like that we've thought about. But my main goal was to be able to stay home with the kids.
Yeah.
And still be able to do their kid stuff and school stuff and still be able and do my schedule around that.
Yeah. So. That is awesome. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what you're building for yourself here. Yeah. And it's working out well so far, it seems like.
It's done well. My kid has therapy every Thursday, and so I open and I can take them there anytime. I don't have to take off. I don't have to ask a boss to sign this, so I can take them.
Yeah.
I can just go.
That's easy. That's awesome. It's the best thing about owning your own business.
Yes.
You make your schedule. Really cool. We'll go ahead and grab the next one.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I like to let you draw, so it's not like I don't know where they're placed. But just in case people think I do, how far in advance should one of your couples order their cake?
So I like at least a month advance, but I've had brides. I've actually had 3 brides come to me a week in advance and say that their baker got sick and asked me to do their cake.
Wow.
And somehow I've done it. One was in Okmulgee.
Really?
And,
wow. Yeah. That's the complete opposite direction.
Yes.
I just drove there to buy a camera lens yesterday. It's an hour and 50 from my house. And it's about 45 minutes from here to my house.
Yep. So I actually she texted me and said, hey, I just found you on a site and I read your reviews. This is what happened, and can you help? And I was like, well, I'm not as busy this weekend, so I just started baking right then.
Let's go. Come on. You're the go-to person, it sounds like.
I try.
Yeah, right. That's always the goal, I feel like, in business, is I want to be the person that you can go to if all else fails. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you're that person, so good job.
So, I don't know. I liked it, and it was in the middle of a lake. I pulled up, it was in the sticks, and I pulled up to a private, place, and I was like, wow.
Was it just beautiful, probably?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, who else gets to do stuff like that, right.
Working at weddings is always the best, because every time I arrive to a beautiful location for a wedding, I'm just like, I love what I do. You know what I mean?
Exactly, you're
it's
like,
so
I can be relaxed here, I can do this.
Yeah, absolutely, it's so great. Cool, we'll grab the next one. Okay, so another business question. I have a lot of business questions in here as well as kind of personal questions.
That's fine.
Just so people can get to know you, because that's the whole point here. But this one's business, and it says, where can people see a portfolio of your designs?
So I'm actually in the middle of building it.
Okay.
I'm doing every style shoot. I'm doing that I can.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm actually just got asked while I was on vacation to do a Red Rock style shoot.
Really?
Yeah. And so it was
like at Red Rock, the restaurant?
No, Red Rock Canyon.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so
really cool.
We will be doing that, and I'll be delivering to a wedding, and my husband will be taking the cakes and desserts and stuff there and everything like that.
Really
so
cool.
Once I get done with this full year, I'm going to completely do a website and everything. But right now, I'm just on Facebook.
Well, you're big enough to have a website, and it sounds like you're getting enough orders that you can really keep that portfolio up to date.
Yep,
and I'm not going to ask you too much about the portfolio because I got a lot of questions in there about it. So go ahead. How do you go about pricing your cakes? Because I know in photography, photographers have a lot of different ways to price. Mm-hmm. Some people price just by purely experience. Some people like to look at all the overhead they have and how much they're paying for their equipment and insurance and stuff like that. How does a baker like yourself price your cakes?
So I do it one or two ways.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a cake that I've done several times, so like a naked cake,
mm-hmm.
I've done probably thousands of those,
yeah.
it seems like. I know confidently I can do those like no other. So I know I can price those at my normal rate and everything, so I get a little bit more profit. But if it is something that is new, I just tell the bride, and I'm super upfront, I'm honest, and that's what I tell them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to try this out if you're willing to come with me, and I give them a discount for that.
Cool.
Also.
So, something that you can kind of experiment and kind of stretch your bounds of what you're used to. Mm-hmm. And brides are probably more than happy to do that, I assume.
Yep. That's how I started getting my first wedding cakes. Is I just put it on my Facebook and said, "This is what I'm doing. I'm doing a bride this weekend that I asked for a whole color cake. So I wanted to make sure that I can get my deep dark colors and I can practice with them. And I've been practicing with them, but now I'm taking that practice and putting it into reality.
Yeah."
And it's actually the hardest. It's a black cake.
Oh, wow, really?
So,
and that's kind of black food trend. It's kind of a big
yes.
thing. Like, you see the black hamburger buns and black ice cream, which is super interesting. And so there's a black cake trend as well?
Yep.
Interesting.
Very much.
And
And
what's the inside look like? Is it black?
No, they can pick anything, but the outside is just a black, dark
I just
icing.
envision, like, a black cake and you cut open to it and it's like a galaxy inside. Oh, that would be so cool.
They do have that. I haven't attempted it that yet,
wow.
but they have some really cool trends about that you can actually put the galaxy inside the batter.
That's amazing. That's really cool.
It is.
Awesome. I forget what question we just answered. We'll go for the next one. So, what's your idea of a perfect interaction with a couple?
Just being exactly told what they want. I love that. Yeah. If someone's just confident and say, this is what I like, this is what I want, or if they're like, hey, just do your thing.
Yeah.
And I've had brides do that, and I love it, because then it gives me creativity, or I can put my spin on it a little bit, but it still comes into their vision.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So either or.
So they kind of just show you a picture of what you want, and they say, hey, you know what, I trust you, go for it.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Wow. A lot of brides are actually like that. They're just like...
I've never met a person who doesn't love any kind of cake. Honestly. I've met people who don't like cake, period. But if you like cake, I've never met a person who's like, I don't like that cake. You know?
Well, funny thing about me, I don't like desserts. And
what?
Yes.
That is weird. That is really weird.
Yeah.
How do you not like desserts? You're a baker.
Yeah.
Do you try your stuff?
I try some of it.
I was going to put a question in here that said, how do you make sure that, what's your workout regimen to make sure that you stay thin while you're probably tasting all your treats? But it doesn't apply.
No.
I'm so glad I didn't do it, but that's really crazy.
Yep, and I don't like chocolate at all, but I love baking with chocolate. I love doing anything with chocolate. Like, I want my next, big thing is to really start getting into chocolate art.
Interesting. What does that look like? What's chocolate art? Like molding out of chocolate? Like statues?
I follow a person on Facebook that he just made a chocolate, I forget who he is and everything, but it was just out of chocolate, and he did a motorcycle. and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it was epic.
That sounds intense, actually.
And I was like, I want to learn. At a smaller scale at first.
Baking is already art.
Yeah.
That's the next level.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah. You said that you were kind of addicted to Dr. Peppers. Actually, I heard you do that because
yes.
I stalk everybody's social medias, and you're always drinking Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
So how many, just estimate, how many Dr. Peppers do you think you drink a year?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, right?
I'm
not a sweet tea, so I
can probably guess. I go through a 24-pack at least half a week to a week, depending on how stressed I get.
She doesn't like desserts, but she will destroy some Dr. Pepper.
Yes, I will.
Heck yeah, okay. I guess it kind of evens out a little bit,
It does. It really does.
That's why you keep yourself away from the dessert.
Probably. I never even thought about it.
It's like a psychological thing. You're just like, look, I've got to level this out. So Dr. Pepper, cake.
Yeah. Pretty much, so.
Have you made a Dr. Pepper cake yet?
I have.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then Dr. Pepper brownies, too.
Okay.
For my family and
stuff. Do you have
stuff.
a picture of that?
No, I don't. It was just for my family, and I was like...
And you didn't take a picture?
No, because we're just... I don't know.
Well, when you do something like that cool, you know, there could be other Dr. Pepper fans out there. If you're a Dr. Pepper fan and you want Dr. Pepper cake for your wedding, talk to this chick, okay? Sammy's Tasty Treats. Facebook, soon to have a website.
Yes, it was just something I was like, I want to do it.
Did it taste like Dr. Pepper?
It had a hint of the like after you tasted it and stuff, and then I used a little bit of Dr. Pepper into the frosting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Intense.
It was.
Really
it was cool.
What flavors do you offer in your cakes and fillings?
Oh, so I think that I have a massive menu.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you took a look, but I think my menu is like 10 pages long.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I saw kind of, I guess, a smaller version. I didn't realize it was 10 pages.
Yes. So, whenever I first started, I started offering just regular cakes for $20. And I'm talking about, I went and just got different, like, recipes and stuff.
Okay.
And I literally tried every single one of them. And different lemon cakes, different, white cakes, different everything. And that's how I just kind of figured out what recipes I wanted. So I offer it because I've done it.
You've done basically all. And so, you know what? I can do this if that's what you want. That's really cool.
Yep.
That's a big menu. 10 pages.
Yes.
Where can people go to see that? Is it on Facebook?
It's on Facebook, and I've just pinned it at the very top.
Okay.
And I've even had people like, can you just do this maybe? And I'm like, let me try it. And I'm like...
Give it a shot here at home and see if you like it?
Yep, I'll see. And I'll go around to my neighbors, or my husband will take it to work, or, I'll take it to my mom's work or something. I'm like, the only thing, y'all get a free cake, but you gotta tell me what it tastes like.
Wow. Did I say that is your husband a firefighter?
He's a policeman.
He's a policeman. Okay, and my gosh, so I was a military police officer, is what I did in the Army.
Oh, cool.
And we used to love when stuff would get delivered to the station, and we just pig out on it all night long, because I was always night shift.
Yes.
But that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yep. And if they're tired of sweets, I'll go to another police station, or I'll go to school.
I'm going to force somebody to eat this cake.
Yes, I'm like, can you guys just tell me what you guys think?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Just a big group.
What cake, if you can think of one, took you the longest to create? Because you've created a lot of really good-looking cakes.
My edible sequence cake.
Okay.
I just did it. It was a style shoot that we did. It was like a Great Gatsby theme. Okay. I did it with the party queens and stuff like that. But it was all edible. I made my own edible sequence, so you didn't have to take anything off. Okay. And I think alone the edible sequence took me a week to make. And I would sit there on the couch while watching TV and just hole punch it. Wow. And then...
Unless I missed it, what are the sequins made
of? So there's this different... it's like gelatin, kind of. Okay. There's a couple of different things. Or you can do waffle paper for
waffle
more...
Waffle paper?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that is.
Like a rice paper. It's just...
Made out of waffle?
I think it's made out of rice, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But if you want it shiny, you do one process. If you want it kind of more dull, you do a different process. And I think the sequence just took me a week at like 6 hours
Just
a day.
putting them on.
And then, no, that was just making them and punching it out.
Oh my gosh.
And then putting them on and making my design. It took probably another week.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's crazy.
And it was on a fake cake like this.
Okay. If you were to make a real cake that was a sequins design, how much would that cost? Because that's a lot of work. Because someone's going to want that eventually.
I know. I really don't know. We didn't even think about that. I wanted to push myself to make sure that I could offer something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is definitely going to be one of our top prices, probably in the $6 to $8, depending on how extravagant you wanted to do with your designs and everything like that.
Now you say $6 to $8. What does that mean?
So per slice.
Okay.
And that means if you wanted a cake to feed 80 people, I would just times that by 80.
6 times 8, 48.
And then do it by that, so it'll be $480.
Wow, come on. Really cool. All right. What is the oddest thing you've seen while searching cake-related items on Amazon and Google? Because I saw that. And that seemed like I had to ask.
That, I would definitely say wedding themed. Some of the Halloween themes. Those are some magical cakes. I mean, you can do so much, and you can go classy, or you can just go plain horror.
Yeah.
But in a wedding cake.
Like okay, I'm trying to think like brains coming out the top of it, or what are we talking about here?
Yeah, you can have brains coming out, but falling elegantly.
Okay.
And you can have part of the brain coming up, so you're seeing up through here coming up. It's super cool, and I think that kind of gets my dark and twisty heart.
Yeah, right. We're all goth kids at heart, right?
You have to be.
You gotta do that to be artsy and have some fun.
Yes.
That's really cool. Have you actually made anything horror themed yet?
No, I haven't, but I'm actually just doing my own style. That's going to be a style shoot. That's going to be kind of rock and roll-ish, and we're going to slide some cool stuff in.
You should definitely bounce to that. That'd be probably fun.
Yes.
That's really cool.
We'll get in touch.
Yeah. So you're always bragging online about your amazing husband?
He does a lot.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so in what way have you made each other grow the most?
Oh, goodness.
And you're allowed to get in your feels here.
Oh, I don't like my feelings. I am not good with feelings. He'll be the first one to tell you that. But he really pushes me in telling me that I can do it. I'll have someone message me a cake. Definitely whenever I really first started weddings, be like, there's no way I can do that. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
And, like, his, where he works, his ex-chief's daughter wanted a 6 or 5 tier, I can't remember exactly. And it was my first time ever. I was like, I can't do that.
That's a tall cake.
Yeah, we have to break it up. Like, I'm going to have to talk to her. And he sat there and just like, Sam, you know the fundamentals. If you know the fundamentals and you apply it, you can do it. I think that's mainly where him and I shine.
Yeah.
I doubt myself a lot.
He says, "Nah, girl, you got this."
Yes,
that's
pretty
awesome.
much.
That's awesome. So Sierra is a cosmetologist on top of being an artist herself. She loves to draw. And I feel like sometimes she'll do the same thing. She'll kind of doubt herself and think that she can't do something. And then myself as a photographer, I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm good enough to do this.
Yes.
You know, someone's invited me to Colorado to shoot their engagement or shoot their wedding. I don't know if I'm good enough to do that. And Sierra comes to me and does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's the best part of being married.
I think so, because as, I see myself as a mom and a wife.
Yeah, come on.
I don't see myself as a baker or someone who owns a small little bakery, home bakery. I don't see myself, as someone who could potentially be successful.
Yeah.
I just see myself as a mom and a wife.
And if I make it there along the way, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you got this.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't going to do the sequence cake. And he was like, you have to do that.
You've got to do that one.
Exactly.
That's
so
awesome.
we did it.
That's right. So this is kind of keeping you in your feels. I'm sorry about that. But what are you most grateful for in your life right now, other than that Dr. Pepper?
Other than my Dr. Pepper, just being able to be the most mom, the best mom, I guess you could say, and being home and still being able to have an income. Yeah. That's my biggest thing, is not being able to help with anything. Yeah. And
if you're part of this team that is marriage and family, and you want to be a part of that team.
I did, and I do, and I was like, he's the breadwinner, and then I was like, well, I want to try to do something, maybe, you know, extra date nights or extra fun stuff for the kids or, you know, something simple. I never thought that I would be having someone like you ask me to be on a camera.
Yeah. Well, it's great. You set yourself up. You knew what you wanted to do, which was be a mom and be a wife. And then you said, if I get there, I'll get there. Yep. And I personally, I really think you're on your way. You do amazing work, and you're already growing a following online, and it's so obvious that you're on your right track. All right, so online, you seem to be a big advocate for cannabis. Do you find yourself kind of attracting couples from that corner of the market that some people just won't even touch?
I haven't yet, actually. Really? I'm not very open about it, but I am, just because you still get that you're a mom, you shouldn't, and everything. But I have Crohn's, and I have very bad, in my back, my vertebrae are on top of each other, and eventually I'm going to have surgery. Wow. And that helps, surely. Yes. Wow. So, and I hate pain medicine. Like, I can't function.
I have family members who have gotten hooked on the pain pills because they needed them, and then had the hardest time getting off of them. So I have zero issue with cannabis, and I think it's getting more and more accepted. And I think you kind of already saying that, you know what, I'm okay with this cannabis thing, and even being at the forefront of that, maybe in this wedding space, I think that's going to put you at a certain corner of the market that no one else is in. Yes, and I would. That's fine. I would love it, and I'm the type of person, as long as you're open and honest, I'm going to be open and honest. Yeah. And I like it because there's a lot of addiction in my family and my past. I'm adopted, so there's a lot of stuff I don't know also. Yeah. And pain medicine is just not something I want to try. Yeah. And keep for a long period of time. No, I'm with that. I'm with that completely. So, what inedible thing, because as a baker I imagine this probably happens, what inedible thing do you look at and wish you could eat it? Oh. Or at least make it into a cake, maybe. A lot of things. I love the sequence stuff right now. Yeah. I'm really into that. There's also an embroidery class that I really want to go to. Embroidery, like making out of fondant? It is out of royal icing. Oh, wow. Yes. And it looks like embroidery, but on a cake. How interesting. Yes. Okay. So you walk around Walmart and you see these embroidered patches and like, man, I want to eat that. Like, or you at least want to make it into a cake. Yes. That's really fun. Or when Halloween comes, I'm like, oh, how can I make my cake ooze like that? Yeah, right. So I watch these videos online, the satisfying videos. Yes. You know? And they're like cakes that are made, and they really look like a computer mouse or like a bicycle wheel, and they slice into them. It's like, man, I've never wanted to eat a bicycle before, but now I do. For sure, I want to eat a bicycle. Walmart's really interesting for us because I'm like, babe, that could be a cool cake. Like, if you do this, we're at Walmart for two totally different reasons. Yes, we are. I watch the people. You're watching items. That's really cool. I am. And even toy aisles, that's even more fun. Oh my gosh. How cool would it be to like turn Woody into a cake? Yes. Like from Toy Story. Yes. People would kill for that. Okay. What size and how many tiers, this is another business question. What size and how many tiers should there be to feed a guest list of 100 people? And how about for 200 people? So, it just depends on what type of style of cake you do. But mainly, I tell them to do a little cheat sheet here. I like it. For 100 people, you have a 6-inch, which is the very top. Uh-huh. And then a 9-inch,
which is just a little bit larger than this one.
Okay.
And then a 12-inch, which is the bottom.
Really? That'll feed 100 people?
Yes.
Really? That's always it's always amazing me because obviously we go to a lot of weddings, and the amount of people there, I'm always amazed that they can be fed off with a single cake.
Yeah.
It looks so small to me, but every time I get a piece of cake, I'm like, that took nothing off of there. That's really cool.
And it's just how it is, and then you have all the construction underneath it also, so you guys think of that. But other than that, everyone should be able to be fed.
Speaking of construction, I've seen a lot of these little pieces you put under cakes as kind of like little accents. What are those called?
So, are you talking about my boards?
Kind of like, there was like some geometric shapes that look like a D20 dice, almost.
Oh, yes. So, that's just extra fun stuff. It's just, you can do spacers in between cakes.
Okay.
They're called cake spacers. I just got an order for one that is going to be cowboys. Cowboy boots.
Okay.
And everything. I'll be going to Sally Saw for that one.
Okay.
And then, basically, and then you have, like, geometric stuff that you can use for the top, for cake toppers, and everything like that. I try to make everything on my cake edible. Yeah. But sometimes you don't always
You do edible flowers?
I can. I am practicing still, because I'm a perfectionist. Yeah. But other than that, I give it a whirl, but that would be something I would like discount for a bride, just because
you're still kind of working through that.
Exactly.
Cool. So I'm so glad I asked you that question, because as I was asking you that question, I was like, man, that's in here. I shouldn't ask that. Do you do sugar flowers, and how do you create those? So the second part, how do you create one of those flowers? What does that look like, that process?
You can do a lot with sugar flowers. You can use a type of buttercream, just make it a little bit more stiffer, and you just basically put it on a pedestal. Kind of looks to me like a one of those golfer things that you put in the golfer tee. Yeah. And just a little bit wider, and you just make it like that, and you just swirl it, or you can make it out of fondant, gum paste, and stuff like that.
Huh. And those are kind of difficult to make? Mm-hmm. They're kind of like upper level?
Yeah, I would say so, just because you got to know what flowers and how they grow, and how I even watch like on Netflix, and I even Google, and I even talk to my florist. Hey, these flowers, can you send me examples, and how can you open them up a little bit more?
Wow. Talk about your research. Come on.
Yeah. I've had to become a baker, a florist, a construction person, and like
a graphic designer, surely.
Yes. I haven't got that far yet, but goodness, you're telling me.
Yeah. Cool. What goal would you like to accomplish before 2021 is over? If you had one goal you want to accomplish.
Oh goodness, that's really hard.
That's a loaded question, I know.
That is.
And if you have to take a second to think about it, it's fine.
I really want to make a cake that I'm proud of, that's really out of my element. Yeah. Just something that I can come up with and just show that all these cool things that I've learned has done it. So maybe a cake that has something I've done, and just for fun. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be for a paying customer. It's just something I design and just try and do it. Do you have any idea what that out of your element thing would be? I have a lot out of my element things. I'm still trying. I'm more of a classy, more elegant, more wedding style, I guess you could say. I'm not the best with like themes and stuff like that. So really getting into knowing how to do the fondant, characters, and all of that stuff. Ooh, how cool would it be? Now, you might have already done this, but like a Millennium Falcon with like little characters. That'd be really cool. Now, I don't know how hard that would be for you. That seems like it might be easy for you. No. No? You don't think? Well, I would think it would be really cool. I'll be watching to see if you do that, because that's... We'll get there eventually. I'll comment and say, I told her to do that. I said that. That was my suggestion. Alright, so what is the most interesting cake that you've ever built? To you personally. To me personally, it would be the sequence cake. You're coming back to that thing. You're loving that, aren't you? That cake took me so long. Yeah. And my sister-in-law and I made the templates. And I did the whole design and everything like that. They said, it's going to be Great Gatsby and sequence. And I was like, okay. see what we can do.
Yeah.
And they trusted me, and it turned out one of my best skates I've ever done, and the most fun, and probably the most cuss words.
I've never cussed out a cake so much, huh?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I've been in here at this table doing the sequence, because you got little tweezers with little sequence, and they're skinnier than normal sequence.
Oh, wow.
And you have to not lay them flat, but at a tilt, because of the light and everything. You don't want it to be...
Yeah, look flat.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
how many of those did you break while you were making it?
I didn't break any, but I spilt my little painter's dill twice. Yeah.
Did you ruin a lot of them? I'm assuming?
No, I didn't, but I lost a lot of them because I couldn't find them. And
and they were all in the painter's little cup.
Yeah, and I would just get them, and one day my husband came and he's like, "Why are you just staring at the cake like you are going to slash it?" I was like, because I might. Because I
might quit this entire thing right now. Yeah, you get that frustrated.
Yes, and he was like, "Let's go get something to eat and come back." I was like, perfect.
Teammate right there. Do you have a mentor or anybody that you actually look up to whenever you're kind of trying something new? You kind of look at something they've done and get inspired.
I just get all my ideas off of Pinterest.
Really?
Wow. And then I'm like, let's see if I can try to do that.
Wow. Really?
I am completely self-taught.
That's amazing. So most photographers, myself included, we have somebody that we're looking up to, like whether it be Taylor Jackson or Peter McKinnon or any other famous photographer. But you're just like Pinterest, and I'll figure this out.
Pretty much. Wow. I wanted to be a Pinterest mom for the longest, and I failed epically at the wood stuff and the making sure everything's all nice and neat, and getting your children ready in the morning because you have their clothes. That was not me. I couldn't be that Pinterest mom. So I was like, maybe I can feed them.
maybe I can make some treats, and you apparently can. So good job there.
I was like, well, Halloween parties and Christmas parties, maybe I can be the one that just brings it all in and no one has to worry about it.
That's really how it started then, huh?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I just was one of those, I was like, I don't want to pay that money for a cake, even though I would. And I was like, okay, let's try it.
It's worth it, but I don't want to pay it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get that. What cake would you say that you have that is probably the most ordered cake? If there's going to be a go-to that a bride probably always goes to, what is it?
My chocolate.
Your chocolate?
My chocolate.
Is it just that rich, or is it just that good looking? What is it?
My chocolate or my Reese's cake.
Oof, I'll go for that one.
Yes, my Reese's cake is actually kind of something that put me on the map.
Really?
It's a chocolate cake and then peanut butter icing with Reese's in the center also, and then Reese's on top. And chocolate ganache. Everyone says it's super amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't like chocolate, nor...
Oh my God. This is the big thing that got me big, and I don't like it.
Pretty much.
Great. Oh, wow.
Now, I have tried the peanut butter frosting.
Yeah.
And it is amazing with, like, graham crackers, but I can only have, like, one or two, and then I'm like, okay, that's too much.
Yeah, that's too sweet.
Yeah, just... For me, but my family could eat it all day long.
That's usually how it goes. Yeah. How long have you been baking?
This is my second year.
Really?
Mm-hmm. This is my first year of weddings also.
First year of weddings, but second year of baking, period.
Mm-hmm.
You don't seem like you're in year 2. The stuff that you're creating does not look like year 2. I'm sorry.
Well,
you're serious.
I'm dead serious.
Wow, good job. So, what year did you start, and what was the thing that made you say, I'm going to actually start baking?
It was during Christmas time, and I love Christmas. Like, this house during Christmas is like...
Lit up like a Christmas tree?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to convince my husband and letting me have a Christmas tree in every room.
Oh my gosh.
But he won't. But we'll get there.
Have you ever made a cake that looks like a Christmas tree? Like maybe that stands up?
No, this will be my only second year, but I'm going to try to go all out for Christmas.
Do it.
So, but I am super excited for it, and I don't know, it's just something. It's only my second year. That's why I'm still creating my profile and taking every single thing I can for style shoots, and I offer free delivery all Oklahoma.
Have you always wanted to be a baker or a chef or anything like that? And if not, what did you want to do when you were 13 or 14?
Before this, I worked as a para.
Paralegal?
No, a para-professional, which is an assistant for special ed.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
And I was in special ed helping since, I think it would be 5 years, 6 years, before I became a stay-at-home mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And so you were in schools teaching. And then you just decided, like, hey, you know what? I'm a stay-at-home mom now, and I'm gonna start creating this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, good job at creating it, because obviously you're doing something right. You're getting your website built, which I imagine is going to be a big deal. You know, people want to see your work. They're going to have a hub to go to, and you're going to do nothing but keep growing and keep growing. So congratulations.
I appreciate it.
And thank you for meeting with me.
Thank you.
And honestly, I really hope this video kind of gets pushed out there and maybe gives you even more business. How much more can you take?
So I'm not booked up this fall yet, but I am starting to book up already for next summer.
Okay, come on.
But fall weddings, like fall and winter, is kind of my thing, so
cool.
I'm hoping to get more.
If you guys are still needing your baker, this chick has it going on. She's 2 years in, and she is killing it, looking like she's 10 years in. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And to you guys, if you guys like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This is number 3 of 21 vendors coming your way for 21 vendors in Oklahoma City. Get to know them, get your weddings planned, make it as easy as possible, and have a great time at your wedding. Thanks, guys. Bye.